national movement, the last phase where Mahatma Gandhi entered, that is the period from 1919 to 1947. Mahatma Gandhi, very important person in the freedom struggle. He is a model for many of the people. So let us find his activities, his path for achieving the freedom from British government to India. So Mahatma Gandhi, he arrived to India in 1915 from South Africa. In South Africa, he was practicing his law. After completing his practice in South Africa, he reached India in 1915. When he reached India, Indians in the country, they want to know about Gandhiji. Already they know Gandhiji, that very dynamic person. So he wanted that non-violent struggles, having led Indians in that country in non-violent struggles against racist restrictions. He was already a respected leader and known to all the people. In South Africa, he fought against racism. Racism is a policy followed by British against the black people. It is also called apartheid. Britishers discriminated the black people from the white people with this policy, that is racist policy, apartheid. So against racist restrictions with the non-violence, Mahatma Gandhi has struggled there in South Africa. So by the non-violent struggle, Mahatma Gandhi became very famous and popular and already known to many of the people in the world. So he was popularly known to the all the people at international status. So as he was known to many of the Indians, when he reached India, he received respect from Indians. Is a South African campaign. That means in South Africa, he did a campaign against the racism. So his campaign in South Africa brought him to contact with various types of Indian leaders and Indian associations. That is, he had contacts with Hindus. Mahatma Gandhi had contacts with Hindus, Muslims, Parsis, Christians, Gujaratis, Tamils, North Indians, and merchants, that is, traders, lawyers, and workers. With all these type of people, Mahatma Gandhi had well communication and contact. So this helped the Mahatma Gandhi to understand their situation and the problems in India. Mahatma Gandhi spent his first year in India traveling throughout the country. He wanted to know what is the position in India, what are the problems of the Indians. So to create it, to check out the program of independence, it's very essential what is need to the Indians. So Mahatma Gandhi spent his first year in India by traveling throughout the country. So why did he travel throughout the country for 1 year? to understand the people, right? How are the people and what are their needs, right? How to overcome the situations prevailed in British India. So his earliest interventions, what you call, were with local movements in Champaran and Kedah. They are the two districts. So earliest interventions were in local movements. First, after returning from South Africa, he traveled entire India for 1 year. Then after he involved in the local movements. That is the first step of Mahatma Gandhi into the local movements, which started at Champaran. Champaran is a district, understand? And Kedah. These are the places where Mahatma Gandhi entered to support the peasants in their struggle. Okay. So in Kedah and Champaran, there peasants organizing a struggle against the unfair terms and excessive taxes on them. They're the mill owners in Champaran and Kedah. There they were collecting high taxes, and the conditions also very rigid one. So unfair conditions were there. Against unfair conditions, that what you call peasants were not given a what you call due share in the crop cultivation. We have seen the previous classes how feudal lords extracted peasants, right? So here peasants struggled throughout India by the jamindars, feudal lords, dorras, petandars. Peasants started a struggle against unfair terms and excessive taxes. There Mahatma Gandhi entered to help them. In Ahmedabad also, he led one successful campaign where mill workers involved in a strike by 1918. So Mahatma Gandhi involvement in Champaran, Kedah and Ahmedabad textile workers movement given a great success. So in these two movements, he also come across with many leaders who were to be his lifelong associates. When he was organizing these local movements, he came in contact with several leaders, and many of those leaders who came across Mahatma Gandhi during this period, they become associates of Mahatma Gandhi till his lifelong. And those were Rajendra Prasad, Vallabhbhai Patel, okay, Babu Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. These two persons, they come across Mahatma Gandhi and established well contacts with Mahatma Gandhi and become followers and associates of Mahatma Gandhi in his entire life. So let us now focus on the movements which organized from 1919 to in 1919 and 1922. What are the movements organized in 1919 and 1922? Okay, let us see those movements. Rowlatt Act and Jallianwala Bagh massacre. I think you have heard about this. Mahatma Gandhi did not associate himself with any specific faction of Congress. He was associated with all the members of Congress. He was not only confined Sir, he was not confined to any one section of the Congress. He kept contacts with everyone within the Congress. Instead, he built his own political program and what to call launched his Champaran campaign in 1917 and nationalist policies. He built his political program and nationalistic politics to fight against the colonial rule. Understand? So first he launched a Champaran campaign in 1917. Right? Just now we stated in 1917 one movement started by Mahatma Gandhi. That was the first movement, what we call Champaran campaign. Okay. Then again in 1918, another movement, that is a Kaira protest. In these, what to call Mahatma Gandhi participated, and in Ahmedabad textile workers, we have seen they raised agitation for low wages and ill treatment to against the ill treatment on workers. So he became the most popular leader. Mahatma Gandhi became most popular leader on his success in Kaira protest movement in 1918 and Champaran campaign in 1917. Then after the workers agitation, Ahmedabad textile workers agitation. That means workers working in a cloth industry. They were paid very low wages and there was ill treatment on workers. So Ahmedabad textile workers, they started an agitation against their textile owners for fair wages. So in such a movement, agitation, Mahatma Gandhi also entered and made success it. That means with the Mahatma Gandhi entrance into these local movements, they succeeded. That means textile workers, they got fair wages, and in Champaran district, peasants also got the right share. In Kaira protest movement also we see that peasants have uh, got freedom from the clutches of the what you call British and landlords instead. So in this in with these movements, Mahatma Gandhi become very popular leader and central figure of politics, understand. So Mahatma Gandhi become very dynamic leader with the success of these two local movements there instead. So he became very important. In 1919, Mahatma Gandhi started what to call a call. He organized a call against Rowlatt Act. Okay, in 1919, British government passed an act called Rowlatt Act. This Rowlatt Act, which act? Rowlatt Act. It is what we call Rowlatt Act. This is passed by British government. This act suspended fundamental rights. That is, people were not allowed to express their views. The freedom of expression, which is very fundamental right, that was curbed by the Rowlatt Act. And this Rowlatt Act removed fundamental rights, that is freedom of expression, and strengthened police powers. What you call here, this Rowlatt Act increased the power of the police. What? How it is increased? Any person who goes against the police, they can be taken into custody by police. Police can arrest anyone keeping in the jail without any evidence. Such a power given to police by Rowlatt Act. Understand? So this is what to call very cruel act. Understand? Without evidence, it is permitting giving power to police to arrest any of the Indians and what to call torturing them in a jail also. Understand? So any person who was suspected by the police as a terrorist, though the person is not a terrorist, if police get a suspect, then they can arrest him and keep in jail. Okay, even they when tried, it could be a secret trial. That means they were hunted also secretly. Instead, they without seeing to the evidence, they were given punishment. Understand? So such a cruel act passed by British, what we call Rowlatt Act. Understand? So this Rowlatt Act is very cruel. It is not a fair one. It is given excessive powers to the police, and without evidence, many of the Indians were taken to the custody, arrested, and kept in a jail. And on them, they what to call run trial. Understand? So Mahatma Gandhi, what to call with Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Mahatma Gandhi, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and other leaders, they felt that government had no right to restrict people's basic freedoms. That what we studied in the constitution, that what to call we people all given basic rights, that what we call fundamental rights. So there is no power to government to suspend or restrict the fundamental rights, understand, which are basic rights to the people, understand. So here Mahatma Gandhi criticized the Rowlatt Act, saying that it is a devilish act, and tyrannical act, which means this act what you call removing the rights of the water people. People were not enjoying the freedom. Instead, right to freedom, right to express their views, right to criticize what they feel is wrong. These all are what fundamental rights, which are very essential for all round development of the people. So fundamental rights are removed by Rowlatt Act. Anybody going against British, they were taken into custody. Even the Indians did not go against by suspecting, on the suspicion, Britishers, that is British police, have arrested many Indians and kept in jail, right? So without evidence, how they without evidence how they give the punishment, they have given the punishment to the Indians without finding any evidence. On suspect only they have given punishment and arrested. So this is what curbing the freedom of the what people, which is very basic for the people. So Mahatma Gandhi criticized it as a devilish and tyrannical act. Understand what act? Devilish and sorry, devilish. Here it is there. Okay, devilish and tyrannical. Mahatma Gandhi asked the Indian people to observe this 6th April 1919 as a day of non-violent opposition to that act, Rowlatt Act, as a day of humiliation and prayer, and Hartal Satyagraha Sabhas were conducted to launch a movement on 6th April, when on 6th April 1919, Mahatma Gandhi called for all people that to maintain 6th April 1919 as a day of what? humiliation, a day of humiliation and prayer, a day of non-violent opposition to Rowlatt Act. See, that means on 6th April, Mahatma Gandhi declared that all Indians should oppose Rowlatt Act based on non-violence. It is not violent. It means very peacefully. Mahatma Gandhi called for Indians to go for opposing the Rowlatt Act very peacefully without giving any trouble to Britishers. That what we call non-violent. So a day of non-violent opposition to the Rowlatt Act, and that 6th April 1919 declared by Mahatma Gandhi as humiliation day. Humiliation day, because humiliation means insulted, right? What are insulted by Britishers? Britishers have insulted fundamental rights of the people, right? So it is a humiliation to the people's right, fundamental rights. So this day maintained as humiliation day, and Gandhiji organized hartals, satyagraha sabhas to launch movement against this Rowlatt Act. So the Rowlatt Satyagraha turned out to be the first all Indian struggle against the British instead. So first time in India we see that all Indians, all Indians, first all Indian struggle against the what? British government, understand, though it was largely restricted to cities. That means this movement which Mahatma Gandhi started in 1919, that restricted to only cities. What that? Only cities instead. So in April 1919 there were a number of demonstrations, hartals throughout the India, and the government also gone suppressing these hartals and demonstrations of us with brutal activities. With what? Brutal. What in by brutal here? Very cruel activities. That means Britishers have did lathi charge instead. For example, the worst example we see that these atrocities was the firing on a meeting. You know that in Punjab, there at Amritsar, there is a park called Jallianwala Bagh. Which park? Jallianwala Bagh. It is a park at Amritsar in Punjab. So there are Indians organizing a peaceful meeting without weapons. Near about 400 people, near about 400 people were killed in that park. When meeting was going there very peacefully, there the Punjab what to call General Dyer, Mineral Michael O. Dyer, understand? So General Dyer entered in that park with his army, understand, and started firing on what to call the meeting, fired on the people who are gathered there without warning, without noticing to them. He started to fire on Indian people who are harmless and conducting very peaceful meeting. In that, women are there, old age people are there, small children are there. So how cruel it is once you think that, understand how it is a inhuman treatment. Today also we can see, if you go to what you call Amritsar and Jallianwala Bagh Park, you will find what you call the symbols of bullets. Here, that park is completely surrounded with wall. I'm showing here, just look at that. Understand? This is the what park having only one entrance and one exit. And inside the park, at the center, there is a well. This is well. Understand? So in this park, many of the Indian people were conducting a meeting against Rowlatt Act to, as per the call of Gandhiji, Satyagraha Sabhas, they organizing there. So Michael, General O'Dwyer on 13th April entered with his army surrounding this what to call entrance. They stood up near the entrance with his army. So this is the park. So here Michael Dyer with his army entered and ordered to fire. So army started firing until the last bullet come to end. So near about 400 people were killed in this incident instant, and it was a inhuman treatment. Thousands of people got injured. So as it was a mass killing and very cruel activity of the British, we call it a massacre. The 400 people were killed and thousands got injured. So knowing to this massacre, Rabindranath Tagore, who was a famous poet, he expressed his pain, means he felt sad and got angry of the British on the activity of the Britishers, and he what to call renounced the prize which he received from the British. That means Rabindranath Tagore was given knighthood. Rabindranath Tagore was given an award, that is knighthood. Britishers gave knighthood award to the Rabindranath Tagore. So Rabindranath Tagore renounced, means rejected this knighthood award, as Britishers have gone for humiliating the what Indians. In Jallianwala Bagh Park, there was a mass killing of the Indian people who were innocent and without harms. They gathered there. So Rabindranath Tagore felt it is very sad, and he rejected the knighthood award which he received from the British, returned to the British.